Hello, good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, there is a buffer issue, so we have to stop class. We're going to start the things from the same. You are welcome back to understand the keyboard argument, keyword argument, keyword argument. So this argument is different from the positional argument and the default. So here you can see that we are first passing the positional argument, then we define the keyword argument. Here, if I will define as a B instead of A, I define as a B and I so it's going to work. There is no issue because all the parameters were. Now my question is, suppose I have defined B and I don't want to define. First we have defined one the positional argument and then I tried to give them sorry I have given the um, function call argument with keyword argument and then followed what the positional is going to follow syntax error. The syntax error says that positional argument follow the keyword argument. That is the error. Means your positional argument never follow the keyword argument. Means your keyword argument supposed to follow your position key argument. So always you remember the position argument first, then your keyword argument. Like earlier, the default argument will be last, your position argument. Period. So let me summary. First, always the positional argument. Okay. Then you go for the default or okay. Otherwise, if anything going to be first for the position, that going very. Are you understand what is right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's
Yes.
understand the second. If I'm going to play with in between, I will keep the positional argument first. Then I will try to get these two. What is the error? I will define the default also and I will try to get the keyword whether it is working or not. Means till now we saw the game with the positional argument with respect to positional argument. Let's play with the if we have positional and default which is defined by the then I can play with the keyword or not all three together and see the error. Only these three are there and I will show you the next one that's called variable keyword argument that will I'm going to come. Okay. So let's understand. Here I'm going to reverse this because this is not going to work. Keyword never come before the position. Always. Now these are the positional argument. And first, yeah, they are working fine. 15, 13, 20 equal to 3. All the parameters. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give them default one. Going to work well. So I'm going 11 is a default, 13 is a default. So let's play. So it's going to override the default parameter as the positions, the calling. Suppose I'm not going to give this any parameter, so it's going to work as a default one. Now the next age we have okay. Now let's understand. We have default and I will integrate with the my what what keyword parameter. So first I will try to pass my keyword argument to override the default or not. Let's define the C as a equal one. Go for the D one two. What going to be happen? You can see this is some weak error, but so I want to override the default argument, the keyword argument. Work excellent because the keyword argument find, but there is a two default, but I don't want to define the one default. I want to give the keyword argument only one, and let's they are able to be called the default or not. This is another scenario. So we have all three. They are but they are defined the default one. So what is the my sequence? Always you remember the sequence will be first positional. First, always prefer positional argument. Then will be override by the keyword. यहाँ पे short form लिखना keyword argument. Keyword argument. If there is these two are not defined, then only they going. Clear, guys? Any questions regarding argument?
I'm clear here.
Thank you. So please practice when I break down everything all the possible way for you have. Now, any questions? Should I move the for next argument? Okay, good. Now let's do the some utility that's called something important called wildcard use with the or star wildcard, and we're going to what's it? There is a special meaning of this while it's coming with star or rather argument. They say that that's a very means this is very beautiful use. I'm going to show you just now by doing the tab. This variable say that this is the going to integrate as many as parameter you want. You no need to define the parameter. You just give this, they will recall your infinity number of argument. Means if you have 5 parameters, they will auto define your 5. If you have one, they will define even you don't have any parameter. That's okay. Let me show you the meaning of that. What do you mean by that? So I'm going to create, I'm going to remove this any just what I'm going to pass the parameter star. Okay, so once you have defined this say that we are not worried about the parameter, we are not worried about the parameter whether they prints or not. So I'm going to lay out and all here. So just I call this, and I don't want to print the parameter. I don't know how many parameter do you need. I will show you just the implementation where we're going to implement, try to understand the philosophy. So suppose I pass the parameter without anything. Sorry, I did not pass any parameter. This is my function. I call my function without any parameter because you can see the here parameter. Okay, and just I pass this. Not going see, they are telling to print the first argument. You can see it's showing that the empty. There's no parameter because of course we did not pass any parameter. This is called dynamic. If I don't have parameter, suppose I have parameter, write down. uh, now let's, instead of this I will pass one parameter. Just I'm passing one parameter, 11. This is very dynamic behavior of that. Star is giving you dynamic behavior. Earlier you saw there is no parameter, they printed the empty one. And one thing you observe, this is the tuple, this is tuple one. Okay, means immutable. Whatever you give the content, it will be immutable. Let me show you how it's going. I am going to pass one parameter. You can see it one parameter, and they have given comma, means they are expecting how many parameter you going to pass. They're going to dynamically going to print that parameter. Means it's a variability they give you. Suppose I am going to pass the parameter as many as 33, 44. Just I pass this parameter. They're going to automate all the parameters. Pass means they can consume the as many as parameter you, means this is dynamic. They're going to stretch, they will going to contrast, stretch, you can stretch, you can expand. So you understand the power of this argument. This is called star argument, which give you the variety of argument parameter pass functions, where you will, where we go. So let's create one.
Sure.
Anything you want to say? All good? Okay. So yeah, let's create simple function over here. What I, so I have argument. So I want to pass one positional parameter like a. Just I want to show you how to integrate. What's the use of this? Sorry guys. How to use with them? Here you have unlimited parameter where we have one. Okay, so I'm going to in the first parameter, in the first f is f is equal to a. Now I want to sum the, or I want to sum all the, how you going to sum, s is sum of the a plus tau. So you have to add this all. Okay, there's a function, all the element to whatever sum. I want to sum, means here what I'm doing, you do the all the sum, then plus this a parameter, and then print. So this is the only the I want to what will be the sum. This is my, so what I have to pass the parameter, I can pass the my parameter as a, the parameter, and you have multiple parameter. but we have to define at least one parameter. I define the first parameter, don't define any parameter. So let's see how it's going to work. Whether it's a giving me error because I have one positional define and arguments, variable argument. So I have defined only the positional. I did not define the argument. What going to happen? Going to work well. Okay, that's it. The positions is zero is given. Some types some. Let's do like this. Of that, whether it's working or not. The positional argument zero on
Ashu,
argument.
Ashu, sorry.
Yes,
No, I was just saying in my function when you're passing an argument, passing a value for the argument, right? Just pass 11 and remove everything else from it.
thank you. Yes, just pass. Thank you, Nikhil. Yeah, right, guys. So just pass 11
Didn't work.
or there is format, break the and now let's see there is printing no. Okay, it's printing 11. Now if I'm going to pass the parameter just so whenever you stuck, so please break your code and try to where you stuck. So I want to test printing. So they print the arguments what they are print what they are printing this empty, printing empty. Good, excellent. Now if I'm going to pass the 12, so they're supposed to 12 as a parameter. Excellent. Now what I'm going to call as s and then sum of argument. Okay, I have done the argument. Let's see. I'm going to print. That's star we should not define there. Okay, now it's going to work. Excellent, is working. Okay, so you guys understand. Let me add this. Now I understand but there should not use the star because the print going to argument print rather than doing so, so it will be a plus. Now it's going to work well. So let's do the parameter. They're going to add this to, so you here guys will have, so guys here what happened, try to understand here. So I use the star argument. That's why it's not argument star is a wildcard here. They are talking about the variable parameter. Here you have to define. Suppose I want to keep on adding the numbers, any numbers like that. 44, then 55, any numbers. So 11 will be the positioning of the A, where the rest of all the sum going to come with the variable argument. That's the implement I can sum it. So how recursive they're going to use? You want to use the well-defined parameter as a positions variable argument. That's all for this. So please practice. I'm going to yeah, I'm going to share you the that part, what you how to print the bill. Try to explore the. Okay, guys, any questions? We are good to
No.
close the session. We'll see you in next class. Bye bye.